So, how do you work with people in Brazil, in France, in United States? How is it possible?
Well, the open source community has figured out very effective ways to collaborate by means of the internet. Of course, this is all internet enabled, and communication happens in forums, happens in news groups, happens by email, happens by Skype. And as for coding, of course, you have a lot of tools that happen, like the Subversion system, like Jira, Fisheye, and so on. So all these processes are well established by the open source community, and we don't add anything because the ecosystem has already established what works best. And what is particularly interesting is that we also pair program. Though we are dislocated, I think here db4o goes beyond some of the other open source projects. And what our developers do, they combine the benefits of agile or extreme programming from a pair programming perspective and the open source model. And how do they do that technically? Because pair programming usually means physical collocation. Well, they use tight VNC and Skype, so they share the same screen and voice. And they can actually code together. And most of our code is written in pair program session, which makes it extremely qualitative, very of high quality, and also helps the product knowledge to be spread out over a large team of contributors.
Right. So you've just released the version 6 of
Yes.
db4o for developers. What are the new features of this version? Which improvements did you for this version?
So the new version 6, which will come out as a production release in a few days, timed in mid-December, has been released as a beta version on November 14th to our developer community. And right now they're giving sort of us the first feedback on the new features. And these features are, or these functionalities are all user-driven. And for developers, the biggest demand ongoing for every product and for db4o is performance. What they want most is performance. So performance is not only to make it a little faster, but to enable them to write more exciting applications, to make more complex queries, to build leaner products which run on smaller devices, because the sibling of performance is, of course, memory consumption. As we use much less memory consumption also, we can enable the use of database or persistence technology on devices like cell phones or smartphones or PDAs where database technology was not available before. So, you know, in a resource-constrained environment, performance comes down to those trade-offs. And db4o, just to give you some numbers, has for certain use cases 10 times, sometimes even up to 200 times faster performance, specifically on larger database sets. Also, memory consumption has gone down, for instance, over the suite of pole position test cases from up to 27 megabytes in some cases to a constant 3 megabytes and less, which makes it also deterministic. You don't have spikes of memory consumption, but you can much better predict the memory consumption, which again makes it applicable to many more exciting devices.
Great. Quelques mots en français pour terminer?
Un petit peu, ben, je suis désolé, mon français est très très mal.
Ah, il est déjà pas mal. Donc c'était le premier événement db4o en France aujourd'hui.
Oui, je suis très heureux.
Oui, très bien. Vous avez prévu d'en avoir d'autres prochainement? Quels sont vos plans à ce propos-là? Pour des événements en France sur db4o?
Ça dépend de la communauté. La communauté qui fait, the community is what drives us here in France. And so for now we have a French forum, a language forum where you can hang out and post your questions in French. And we have, of course, many, hopefully many more contributions from the French community as well. And we'll be back as more and more users embrace db4o in France as well. Currently France is among our top 10 countries, and we expect to have soon many more users here, like in any other geography, as more people know about it.
Great. Thanks for this interview.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.